Good morning, good morning. It's great to stay up late. Good morning to you.
Actually, it's 21:16 p.m.
Oh, are you a European with your 21 military time?
Yes, I know how to read the clock like a proper...
No.
Your phone is falling. I am looking at your pans now. What is happening? Welcome to Two Full Podcast. Phil is fixing his makeshift webcam so we can see each other. This is new world. We're looking at each other while we talk. I'm your host, Tim, and Phil is fixing the camera. We're the Two Full Podcast. We watch a new movie, and then we find an old movie, and then we compare them.
True.
That's
Johnny, play
do.
the theme. Play the song, Johnny. Play the song. Let's get it. Okay, so it's funny. We have a webcam on. We can see each other. We've done this in the episode prior, but the funniest thing is that now this microphone stand is right in front of my face. So what's the point of you even seeing my face if you can't even see it behind this giant microphone stand?
You have a talent of obtruding your face with the microphone stand. You gotta go. Wait, do you have what kind of microphone stand? You don't have fancy man?
Nope, I just have the one that stands on its own.
The hand. You should get like the Freddie Mercury one, just like the top of the. You should just Freddie Mercury it, just like when he has a stick from the top of it and just going around the room. I bet you would be like that. Would be like hyperfill, like walking around with a microphone, like a.
That would be good for the special episodes where we have enough beer.
Like walking around, like holding it, like achievement hunter style, like a charismatic pastor, like healing people, walking around, that kind of deal. Talking about it has to be a good.
It would happen. It could easily happen if I actually had that, but I don't, so we have to be restricted to me sitting down and talking to you like a normal person. A very polite person.
Very polite. Burping in the audience. Before we get into business.
How you doing? How's it going? It's been 2 weeks once more. Man.
It was good, man. I was on vacation.
Vacay? Good old vacay. Went to the old mountains. Had the old walking in the mountains with my daughter in Isma Pack. Did the wellness. Yeah. We had wellness in our hotel. So I saw photos of it, of course, yes. But I can't remember I think the pack that your daughter was on.
Yes.
Was it on your back? Yeah, she's too large now for front. Right.
for the kangaroo pouch, she's a bit too large. Yes, she's got the Isma pack. She's on the back.
The Isma pack.
yeah, she's just chilling in there. She was walking. I mean, she wasn't walking. She was going up to our destination hiking. She was in there. She got out for some breaks, and then she hung out at this lake. When we got up there, and then she fell asleep on the way back,
as a child does.
Man, we were cursed because at this hotel we were at, it's like 2 hotels, and we're sleeping at the other one, and the spa and the pools and the saunas and all that stuff is on the other side. And they you could walk through the forest. I sent a little video of me walking
through the forest of Mount Wudang
in the darkness, and I showed you the video of those little dwarves in the darkness. They made for kids in the day. It looks nice, but at night spooky. But and then they have like a train that drives you, like a fake train. It's a car that's dressed like a train. It drives you from one hotel to the other. And we kind of first day we're like, oh, we got to get Agatha on the train. She'll love it. She was talking about this train. And we're like, but not today. Today we're going to walk through the woods, through the ancient dwarfs to tell us the tale. the
Hall of the Mountain King.
Yeah, they're like little miner dwarves. And then on Monday we're like, can we like book the train's like, no, it just goes on weekends. So we're like, oh my goodness.
It just goes on weekends. Well.
So as I was walking down...
Hey, you win some, you lose some.
Exactly. So
you win some dwarves,
she was really upset.
The train.
She was really upset because she wanted to go to train. But so when we're walking down, she fell asleep, and I'm looking at the map, and I said, like, if I go further down the mountain, there's a train station, and there's this train that goes around the High Tatras that like stops in all the tourist places. And there was like one stop away from where we parked our car. And I was like, if I just walk down here, we grab the train, we go one stop, it'll be perfect. Save the day, She gets a train ride in after all. Get there, train's not going that day.
Double disappointment.
It was like 4 p.m. and it's like until 5 p.m. the train doesn't go. There's a backup bus down the road. So I'm like, okay, explain. I'm sorry, the train is not going, but there'll be a bus and it'll take us back to our car. And she's like, okay. The bus, we're going to say stop to the bus man. He's going to stop. We're going to go in the bus. We're going to sit there.
Did you like the bus at least? Was the bus interesting?
Well, I walked down to go to the bus, but since we arrived there at 4 and the last train left and the next train is going to be at 5, the last bus didn't go because the train is going to come now in an hour.
Amazing. This is perfect.
I had to walk up the mountain again to get back to the car. Oh my goodness. That was... So no trains. How you doing?
Nothing. There is nothing to report unless there's something to report.
Sad news. We were together in about 2 weeks. Could have.
Oh, geez, you don't even have to bring that up. That's
I know.
unfortunate.
Sad news.
Yeah.
But alas,
I haven't seen Tim since 2019. I mean, like it's in person, in the flesh. No,
there was a chance we would sit down and go see
everyone
a movie,
listening, Tim has a daughter and, her name's Agatha. And, man, I've only seen her when she wasn't even able to speak. And now she's like a 2-year-old.
Yeah, 2.5.
Yeah. And, man, she's walking on 2 legs. She has a head of hair and she's speaking and
speaks a lot.
I've only talked to her once, just a few days ago. That's all.
Yeah. Sad stuff. So, hopefully soon.
Yeah.
So we'll be able to
good
sort
news
this
is,
out.
I was going to get my second vaccine shot today, but I felt like if I did, then we would have to postpone the podcast again in case I was going to feel like I'm being hit by a truck.
It's true.
So I couldn't take the risk.
Couldn't take the risk. All right, Viceroy. So one order of business before. So as you all know, we have another podcast before called Matrix Minute.
It's man, it's back from the dead.
Some of you may have listened to it back in the day. It's a podcast where we analyze the Matrix movie, the first one, and every episode we analyze 1 minute of the movie.
Yeah.
So it's very Matrixy. And then the Matrix trailer came out, so we did an episode with Jake, the person that you forgot the name of.
Yeah. Just in case you remembered, like,
just in case,
the co-host, of this show. He was the co-host.
There's an episode. If you go to matrixminute.com.1 or search Matrix Minute, you can listen to us talk about the trailer for an hour and a half.
Yeah, please do it. Do it.
The
matrixminute.1.
Exactly.
Go there, check it out. It's more of us, What's not to like? Talking about Matrix stuff. Well, what's so funny, Tim? What's so funny?
I don't know.
What are you laughing at me for?
Yeah. We gotta hype up Phil somehow. I don't know how we're gonna.
I was lying. Okay, Tim. I think you already know my.
What, your napping story?
No. I think you already know my schedule for when it's time to do a podcast and watch a film, right?
No, you're hungry usually. That's all.
No. It wasn't that. It wasn't that episode. This episode, it's where I just finished rewatching Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Oh, you just finished watching
10 minutes ago. Yeah.
No, I completely understand your mood. Then I completely understand how I watched it.
Because I was lying on my bed and I was watching it. You know what I mean?
So wait, okay. So well, obviously
we'll get to that.
We should tell people what we watched. So we watched.
Oh yeah.
Our new movie of this episode is the new Marvel movie Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi, Legend of the Ten Rings.
Oh, it's true. That has a subtitle. And then we paired it up with Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
That's what the trailer guy said in the trailer. I remember
exactly.
I had
so Shang-Chi, new Marvel superhero. His dad is the Mandarin. He's got 10 rings that are powerful, and he lives forever. But he falls in love with a lady from a magic land, and they have 2 kids.
Yes,
but his past catches up with him. And his lady love.
You
wife,
mean Shang? Oh yeah, okay. Yeah,
she gets killed, and he is very sad because of this, and doesn't know what to do, and looking for revenge. Sends his son when he's 14 to America to avenge and kill the man who killed his wife.
but he doesn't like this path, and he hides in America, in San Francisco, and works jobs of, like parking cars, and has a friend who also likes to park car parks. But then
car park, just car parks. They just like car parks. Yeah.
But then it is it catches up with him. His father wants his amulet, and he has a sister too, and they get back together.
She has a sister. It's just that's true, right there.
And his father gets the sister and him, Shang-Chi, and his friend Katie, and they're back in China. And he wants to go attack the secret village in another dimension, which his wife is from, because he hears voices.
Literally another dimension.
She's calling to him that she is trapped by the village people. She's not dead.
To stay at the YMCA.
They have her in a cage, and he must muster his 10-ring army and go defeat the villagers and rescue her. Will he succeed? Is she being trapped? Find out when you watch Shang-Chi, or you listen to this podcast, because we spoil everything.
We spoil everything. Yeah, that's right. Spoilers ahead, everybody. Yahar.
Yahar,
Spoilers.
She's not being trapped.
Tim, my webcam just stopped.
Yeah,
canon,
I know.
So I'm trying to find out why. I hate this. This happens every time, and I don't know why.
The webcam. So,
and the next film that we watched was Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. I
need help with this one.
Yeah, so Tim, the thing about that is that you need help with that. That's interesting.
I'm having trouble piecing together. Yeah. There's a sword.
Yes, there's a sword. Okay. Let's go. Let's see if I can do a synopsis. Let's try it.
Yeah,
okay.
let's do this.
So back in the old days in China, there.
back in the good old pre-communism China.
Yeah, back in the Qing dynasty. Apparently it's the 19th century, which it's a bit strange because you'd expect someone to have
the
guns.
19th century. I thought it was a medieval.
I know. I mean, look, it's just kind of like a fantasy version of China.
What? I thought this was medieval China. I was fooled. All right, continue.
Yeah,
I was fooled.
Yeah. So
what happened?
So there's this character. Her name is. No, actually, let's not go that far into detail.
No, don't. No.
Okay. All right, so a sword is being brought back to Beijing, which is Peking in the old way of saying it, or the romanticized way of saying that,
or in Slavic as well. We call it Peking.
Yeah, and jeez, I can't do this. I can't do it, man.
Well, okay, there's a sword, there's a man and a lady. They love each other, but they can't have love. But there's also a tiny lady. She's being trained by this witch. And she's really good at and Jade Fox. And she really likes
the Jade Fox, yes.
She's Jade Fox.
Yeah, she is the governor's wife, I think. I think that was what it was.
Nope, she's the governor's daughter.
No, that's
not the wife. That's just a woman training her, isn't it?
Yu. Okay, look, Jen Yu is played by Ji Zhang. That's the main character, you would say, the girl.
Yes.
She's the daughter of the governor, but the person who's training her secretly in the dark ways is Jade Fox, right? The Jade Fox.
Yeah, but that's not his wife. I thought that was just like a maid.
That's what I thought it was. I remember watching the movie just now, and it was like governess. It's Jen's governess.
The Jade Fox.
I'm not
entirely sure what happened. Who's transpired against who? I know she trained, but she didn't tell the Jade Fox all the texts.
No,
so she was kind of lame.
Yep, that's right. Okay, here it is. But listen. Jade Fox is posing as Jen's governess, but is her secret teacher in the ways of Wudang, which, the techniques that she stole from Li Mubai's old master, and Fox is getting revenge for having her not get talked by Li Mubai's old master. I know this story because I've watched this movie many times.
You watched this movie many times? I've never seen this movie in my entire life.
Well, that's why I wanted to bring it up. So anyway, I didn't want to bring it up. You're the one who brought it up. But give me a sec. Just give me a sec. Okay, so a sword... it's just...
A sword.
So there's this magical... No, it's not a magical sword. It's the... There's too much to talk about.
Looking. No, just what do you mean? I mean, it's not that complicated.
I can't. I can't. Like if I wrote it down, I would be a king. I would be the best.
Okay,
If
I'm
I wrote
gonna
it down.
give it an attempt, but no names for me, unfortunately. Man loves woman, but they can't be together because her fiance, his friend, got killed by the Jade Fox. But
His master.
his master, yes.
Yes, because this is.
But
They're not really explicit about it, but there is like this. There are these warriors, you know.
Yeah, he's a warrior.
Martial artists, you know, but they're like elevated. It's called wuxia, which is a sub-genre of films and literature in China. It comes back like from like the 7th century. It's all about the you know, it's
keep
what?
bringing me
Okay.
back the detail.
I'm sorry. I'm going to details again.
Right? So, and he's given up this warrior life. He doesn't want to do. He's gonna train meditation, and he brings the sword to this lady who's now a tradeswoman. She delivers packages and protects the packages, and he's like, bring this sword to the old man in Beijing. And she brings the sword to the old man, Beijing, but the governor's daughter sees it, and she then secretly thieves it because she wants to be a great, powerful warrior, because she's betrothed to marry some man she doesn't like, while the Jade Fox teaches her ways of the fighting, but she knows it better because she knows how to read, and she steals the sword because she has a lover in the desert she wants to be with, but she can't because she's betrothed. And then a lot of stuff happens around the sword, and then the warrior fights and looks for the sword because it's his sword, and our lady, she looks for the young lady, and we have flashbacks to the desert of love, and then also there's a policeman who dies, and there's also a guard who helps them.
He was great. The guard was awesome. He's one of my favorite characters.
And then they all die. No, they don't die.
We'll get to that. I don't know. Oh,
I
man.
don't remember how it ends. I don't remember. Anyway, I wanted to watch Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon because I've heard of this movie 1,000 times. I first thought it was a 70s movie, to be honest. I completely missed the fact that it was released in 2000. No idea why. I've heard about this movie 1,000 times. It's just one of those things. You know about a movie that's people say it's a classic, and you just never have an opportunity to watch it. And then we're going to watch Shang-Chi, and I was like, okay, let's compare it to some kind of, you know, Chinese martial arts movie. And it was like, first I was thinking, okay, let's do some Jackie Chan, because like Shang-Chi is probably going to be like some realistic action. But then I saw that in Shang-Chi, there's also this sort of, you know, mythical kind of fighting style as well. So I was like, oh, perfect opportunity to watch Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Good
So
for
watch
you.
it.
We did. And I've watched Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon quite a few times because it's one of those movies where when you have a birthday and you're like 13 years old and a friend of yours goes to the DVD store and he's like, this looks like something Phil and Jake would like, and they bought it for me for my birthday. So I've had the DVD forever. So me and Jake have watched the movie, you know, more than 3 times at least. You know what I mean?
More than 3 times.
That sounded-
I love a review.
Eventually more than 3 times, but we've watched it
watched it more than 3 times.
I've watched it at least more than that because when I rewatched it now, I remembered so many things. In fact, I remembered so many things that I noticed that I subconsciously copied from that movie in some of the shots that I did when I was younger as well.
Oh, that's interesting. So how old were you when you saw this?
13.
13. Wow. What did you think when you saw it first?
We watched it dubbed. And then we watched it dubbed again. And we watched it dubbed again because, you know, subtitles. Come on, who has time for that, right?
There's time to read some
I want to see the pictures. I don't want to read the subtitles. But then sometime years later, I watched it subtitled and everything made much more sense. Because they changed the wording to match the lip flaps instead of giving us the clear dialogue that would make more sense.
That makes sense.
But
That
yeah,
makes sense.
but I'm actually very happy that I've seen this film so much younger because it was so influential, and it still is. I'm looking at this, and it has wonderful like framing. I looked at the cinematography, and I just felt like natural. It's so natural, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And the camera work is so like reserved, and it's also so particular. It's not going whooshy for no reason. It has purpose. All the actors that are in it are they play their roles really well, and I remember all. And you know what? After this film, I've recognized any of the actors in this film in like the other like Hollywood movies that you would see, because it's rare to see them, right? So like Chang Pei, for example, in Street Fighter,
which brings me to, we have some twofold connections. We also have connections to the other movie. We have Michelle Yeoh. She plays in Shang-Chi as well.
She
plays
does,
the aunt, right?
She does. But I was going to tell you, Michelle Yeoh, she's in another Marvel movie.
She's in another Marvel movie? Like a MCU movie or
yes,
a Marvel
she is.
movie? Who does she play?
She's in Guardians of the Galaxy 2. She's one of the Marauders with Sylvester Stallone. When they go
she's like the OG Guardians.
When they go and pay tribute to Yondu at the funeral.
Nice.
So what do you say about that? Is there any other MCU actor who was in an MCU film that was in another MCU film?
Yeah. Gemma Chan.
As different characters? Who?
Yeah, Gemma Chan. She plays in Captain Marvel. She plays the Blue Lady, one of Jude Law's, like team members, and now she's playing in Eternals.
Oh, okay.
Well, she's not blue anymore, so they can get away with it.
All right. Well,
here's the thing.
But
not only that, but we have a connection with the early movie we watched.
Yes.
Which I figured out on my own before going to IMDb, both of these actors, because I was like wrecking my brain. Where did I see? So for Shang-Chi, the bad guy.
Yes, the Mandarin who doesn't like the name Mandarin.
Yep.
Yeah.
As well as our main hero.
It's Tony Leung, right?
His name is Tony Zhu Wai Lung.
Okay.
And then our main hero, our sword man, from Crouching Tiger. They are the buddies from Hard Boiled.
Yes, they are. Look at that.
There we go. The connection. It was because in Crouching Tiger he has that traditional like Chinese haircut where like the front is shaven. And then the back, you have like the long braided ponytail.
You know what? I noticed
it took me a while to figure out his face. Like I was where do I know this guy? He plays that.
He's Chow Yun-Fat, man. Chow Yun-Fat. He's
Chow Yun-Fat.
He played main cool detective dude.
What was the guy?
He played Hard-Boiled Man.
He had a funny name. Oh, Tequila. There we go.
Yes, there we go. Hard-Boiled Man.
Tequila. Hard-Boiled Man. He played Tequila. That's hilarious. So there's some twofold connection.
Yeah, it's great. It's wonderful. Is that why you chose Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon?
No, I didn't know. I just watched it, and I was watching both these movies. And I was like, "What? Where do I know these people?" Like,
okay. All right, let's get into it. Let's get into these films. Let's do it. Let's talk about them.
So first, I will have to do a preface that essentially we are both white men who are from Europe and America, and I personally know nothing of Chinese culture. So if you're looking for someone to compare, even though we're watching an original Japanese production versus a Hollywood American production, and if you're expecting us to, do a commentary of culture appropriation and all this stuff, unfortunately, we'll disappoint you because my knowledge of Chinese culture is from like Tomb Raider 2 and Mulan, and then a bunch of medieval encyclopedias I read. So unfortunately, we can't do that. But we can give us our,
mine is from a couple of documentaries I watched and some Wikipedia articles I read.
Nice. Well, Philip is a bit of a weeb, so I think you have a little bit more experience.
Yeah, but that's Japan, isn't it? It's different.
Oh wait, being a weeb is only Japan?
Yeah, that's what it comes from. Weeb comes from Wapanese, which is like white Japanese. You want to be, people who want to be Japanese.
Right. So what? And if I don't, by the way, big fan of Korea? Is that's not a? Does it have that name?
But now it's like colloquially put together. We just put it all together. Just put it under the banner of weeb, and that's it.
Okay, so yeah, let's talk about these movies. Let's talk about Shang-Chi and Crouching Tiger and Hidden Dragon and the Ten Commandments.
Yeah.
What is the
Shang-Chi and the Ten Commandments, laying down the law, going down Mount Wudong, telling us of the legends of Wushang.
So you're a big fan of Crouching Tiger. I have to say that just like on paper, this feels like a very Tim movie, like the natural camera, and it's very moody, it's very slow, it's like emotional, and there's like actions, and it's a big play. But I have to say, personally, I kind of was having trouble getting into it, though.
It's so funny because I was the opposite. I was just like, I started watching the movie and I'm like, yes, I like this. This is simple. Mm-hmm. It's dragging me in. First shot is just some dude popping his head up and going, "Hey, Michelle Yeoh's coming in. Hey, that's great." And I'm like, oh, this is like in a quote unquote not medieval village because it's in the Qing dynasty, which is
this is a fake medieval village.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks so nice. It feels so nice. I really like. Honestly, most of the time. Oh shit! I think I was trouble with the plot and the characters. I was struggling. I think I wasn't like feeling whatever that was happening there.
See, I may not be able to say the synopsis, but I can definitely clear up some things if you need it.
No, I mean, how does it end? Remind me. What happens in the end?
Well,
spoilers.
I love it because it kind of. What I loved about it now is that I could see that all the storylines come together in one cave in the rain, where the Jade Fox has hidden Jen and
she dies her with her.
Oh yeah, and then that's where Li Mubai comes in, and that's where Michelle Yeoh comes in, and they all come together, and then they're like, "We were following the Jade Fox," and then Li Mubai is like, "I was following Jen." Dun dun. Jade Fox comes in. She's like, throwing up all those, like, all her tricks in the bag, you know what I mean? She's just throwing all her, like, needles, and they're, like, blocking it. And, that's where all the fates are sealed.
Right. And she tries to save, what's his name again?
Who, Li Mubai?
Li Mubai.
Li Mubai.
Li Mubai. He dies, right?
He dies. He gets...
Li Mubai dies.
Makes one wrong move.
Yushu, she survives, right?
Michelle
Yeoh survives.
Yes.
And then our tiny Jade Fox,
the
governor's daughter,
the troublemaker. Yes,
the troublemaker. She
played by Jie Zhang.
She gives up all this foolishness of fighting. She goes back to her desert man. They go to this village, and then she jumps off
up in Wudong Mountain. Yeah.
Does she kill herself? Is that what happens?
I always felt like it was a little bit, I mean.
Okay, it could be. I wasn't sure. Was it supposed to be ambiguous, or did I miss something?
I felt like it was,
and I was lost.
Well, that's what I liked about this film. The film was kind of light in telling you exactly, and I feel like that sort of subtlety and trying in giving you an idea of what to think is, I would say, a little lost in bigger movies with action scenes that have adventure in them, because for some reason filmmaking nowadays is all about just telling you right up front what's happening, and it doesn't give you time to kind of maybe think about it or make your own mind up, which I always admired with especially when I watch this film. It's just really soft, you know what I mean? It's very soft in telling you.
It's very soft with everything. But I guess maybe I was the way it's established with the sword and who's what, it gives you the false premise you should be looking out what the plot is, but the plot in the end isn't really relevant. So I was a little bit confused at the end. I was like, I thought I failed of like following, and I was like, oh, I missed things, so I failed. But I guess the movie is supposed to be that way, so it's okay. You're supposed to have this fleeting feeling of it, this melancholy, I would say.
Yeah. The plot is there to kind of move the characters' reactions and and their motivations, so then they can collide instead of being like the focal point of what you're going for. I really liked it. I felt like it's somewhere. It's also came out very close to The Matrix, and I think both of those movies take action and put it into a more complex story. Well, I mean, Matrix isn't complex as far as the plot's concerned, but like what it does is brings up like Matrix brings up philosophical.
It's not just action for the sake of action.
Ideas and has something at least to say. And so does this. This kind of like makes you think about a few things, especially of what was going on in the heads of the characters and what their motivations were and what their desires were and what the sacrifice was, bringing them into, you know, through that journey, especially with Ji Zhang's character, who's the troublemaker girl, who I arguably would say is kind of like the main character in a way.
I guess. I mean, so how do you feel, or what do you feel? I mean, if what was her motivation, or was it because I kind of didn't get if she was into the guy, or she was into the fact that she wanted freedom and get away from it. Like, I didn't feel like this desert man, he was obviously in love with her, but I didn't feel
Chang Chen.
I didn't feel like she was in love with him, or that she actually wanted him. It felt just like that was like something that was the opposite of whatever she had. I don't know. I was still struggling understanding her motivation.
Well, that's
besides the fact she didn't want to get married.
I feel like that's on purpose, maybe, because I think that's, you know, she's a young woman, and I feel like that was the kind of idea, is that when you're that age, many of us don't have an idea of what they want, and what they don't want is what they're being assigned to. And I feel like Ji Zhang's character, Jen, she is trying to make her own way, but she is pulled all different directions by other things that she wants, and other things that she's expected of, and other things that other people want from her, even if it's for her own benefit. Like, in my opinion, I feel like Li Mubai was being the stoic warrior that he is, trying to find a successor to the ancient ways of his teachings, you know, because he's the only one who got taught by his old master, who got killed by Jade Fox. And he found someone in her, but she is just she's just a cyclone of sporadic raw talent and ambition, but she doesn't know what she's trying to get. And I think that was on purpose.
Interesting. That's pretty cool. I mean, because no wonder we struggle with the plot, because like there's a lot of interconnectivity between these characters, a lot of in and outs.
And the movie is only an hour 48 minutes.
That's insane, by the way. That's insane that it was that was that. What? It felt a lot longer. I guess it's a very like slow movie. I really appreciated just like the set designs and the feel of it. I was thinking like I'm gonna get into like reading
so
about medieval China. Like this looks like you feel like a weight of the culture just in like the mundane things that I would be like, I'm interested in like reading more about
totally.
What is this tradition here? And also stupid George Lucas like totally stole the look from Amidala. I was like looking when it's
Queen Amidala herself.
But this came after Queen Amidala.
It did come after, but I think he just stole the whatever Chinese culture of and just plastered over Amidala. It was just hilarious to me, like how down to the lipstick it was close.
Yeah, there's a lot of inspiration. I would say it's inspired. I wouldn't say it was stolen. Come on, man, you can find inspiration anywhere.
No, it was just funny to me because but it is like that. It's just sometimes you just have a different there's an emotional response to seeing when you watch something and it's the first time you ever see it, and then you watch whatever inspired that. Sometimes you have like a reaction, which is like, oh my goodness, this is like where they got the inspiration. Sometimes it just feels like, oh, okay. So this one was the second
You also
one.
should probably know that Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon is based on a novel.
Okay.
Yeah. So cool. It was written in the late 1930s.
Okay.
By an author called Wang Dulu. And it's a series. It's not just one book. So
it continues?
Yeah. So
who does it continue with?
Oh well, I mean, I can whip up my information hotline and I can find out what other books there are in this series. Yeah, so it's
Crouching Frog and hiding and Grasshopper.
Well, I mean, apparently it's the whole pentalogy. So there's like 5 of them. And
Eating panda.
Yeah, eating panda, snacking duck.
Snacking duck. Eating
panda, snacking duck. I mean, the duck is the father. That's where the next one comes in. Kung Fu Panda was the other adaptation.
Yep, that's the second. That's the second continuation.
It's the crane iron
and
pentology.
Mulan is the third. Yeah,
it's the crane iron pentology. So there's like a bunch of. I'm sure Li Mu Bai is in like the other novels and stuff like that, which kind of explains how it kind of starts so interestingly strange. Like
well, you don't know any of the backstory,
yeah, because there seems to be some backstory. Like, what did Michelle Yeoh's character in Li Mu Bai, what adventures have they had before?
Yeah, you don't know. Nothing is told.
That leads them to have these feelings. I mean, of course, she explains it later on to Jen at some point, but yeah. I really liked how it was a movie that had a story that you could follow, and it was more complex than normal, and it took itself very seriously and genuinely, but it had amazing fight scenes as well. In my opinion, I think the fights were fantastic. I don't know, Tim, you might be thinking like the wires weren't the best.
Well, here's the funny thing. I like wire work stuff. I really like traditional kung fu wire work, but and the reason was like why I chose Crouching Tiger, because I was reading about Shang-Chi, and the director mentioned like their inspiration for the fight scenes was like one was like the more realistic kind of Jackie Chan stuff, like kind of visceral, using the environment. Yeah. And then the second one, for the more magical stuff, they wanted to use, stuff like from the Crouching Tiger, the traditional wire work, which was like, okay, let's watch a wire, because that's the one thing I remember about this movie. I knew nothing about it, but I had scenes in my head of like the wire work. So like the tree stuff, like when they're like flying around the trees.
Yeah, the bamboo forest.
The bamboo forest and on the rooftops. And so I was like, I remember this stuff. So let's watch it and let's compare how Hollywood does it. But speaking of wire works, I was talking to my nephew Benny yesterday, because he also went to see Shang-Chi. And he was telling me about the movies, like he liked and stuff. And he was like, but like, some of the action was like bad, and I'm like, what do you mean? Like, what was bad about it? I was like, was it too like quick cuts? And like, no, like it felt fake. Like you could see there were wires, and I was like, I was like, oh, okay, wait, listen. So that's like a reference. That's how it's supposed to look like. That's the feel. I was like, oh, I was like, I thought it was like what happened to Marvel. They're like really crappy looking wire work. Like you can clearly see they're floating.
Yeah.
It's like, that's the style. That's how it's supposed to go.
Yeah.
I mean, I dig it. I really like it. Like I don't mind it. Like sometimes I think in the bamboo forest, like they're really struggling to like keep the body poses.
Oh yeah,
to be threatening. So it looked kind of funny. It looked like a bunch of people.
Yeah, I'm not saying that it's
good.
a perfect film or anything, but
no. But it was. I think that was the only time where it was like, okay, it's getting a little bit silly. Let them down. But like when they're fighting and they do like a jump, like the classic with the Superman jump, that looks cool, and like flying around, I like that. I don't mind it. It's very dance like. What do you think about that? Are you a fan?
I'm a fan of the fact that it's a tradition. Going back to the old Hong Kong days of making films.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a fan of it because of the style, but I'm not necessarily a fan of it because I can see the strings, I don't like...
Okay. No, I will mean like,
mean?
it has, it's practical, it's better.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. I don't care about that because, look, the same guy who choreographed the wonderful fight scene in this, Yen Wu Ping, he's the man who choreographed The Matrix fights. His master Yen Wu Ping and his team. They
good to know.
And I mean, in The Matrix, they masked it a lot more. Better. They masked it better. I think it was just the Wachowski.
Yeah, it was
the Wachowski eye.
It was inspired, but it wasn't like, let's make it obvious. So what do you think of in Shang-Chi, the wire fights?
You know what? I was gonna say that the wire fights in Shang-Chi, I was like, hey man, these fights are actually better than other MCU fights that I've seen, so I'm happy to see that because I'm glad that they they went an extra step and wanted to do something that was for me, the best fight scenes tell a story as well.
Yes.
And
definitely.
These did that. Like, it had some, like, at the end of that fight, something happened, there was a problem, it got resolved, and then it continued the story. It didn't stop. It's not like, same with the musical. The best songs are the ones that either, they tell you something about the character, of what they want, of of what they need, or who they are, and also carry the plot along. Otherwise,
or have a conversation. Like, your fights are good for conversation of, like, resolving something or something like that. That's pretty good. I have to say that I was a little bit disappointed that the first two fights that you see in Shang-Chi, the other ones didn't really live up to it. They got bigger and greater, but I feel like the bus fight...
The bus fight was the best one, hands down.
The bus fight, and also the first fight between the Mandarin and his future wife. That was like the magical wire work stuff with the leaves and like superpowers, like swirling and stuff like that. Those two were amazing. But yes, the bus fight was glorious. That was like, you can feel the punches, and it's also good setup. Like, if somebody didn't know, like, if you went cold turkey, I think you would enjoy the first 30 minutes like pretty really good, because there's a lot of setup to it. To like, oh, he can fight. If you saw the trailer, you're like, obviously he's the hero, he'll fight.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about Shang-Chi, because we haven't for a bit. So Shang-Chi is the next Marvel film.
Let me ask you something, Phil. So
I love that we always do this. We always do this, and it's always me being asked questions, and I'm never prepared. Never.
Then prepare some damn questions.
I need to prepare some damn questions, because this is the last time I'm going to come in and be like, I don't know, and then Frank's going to come up on his Twitter and he's going to start writing these unbelievably mean. No, I'm kidding. They're not mean.
Well, look, I prepare every time. Since we started this podcast, I write down.
I'm gonna write down notes. I'm gonna do it next time, because I'm missing out, because Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon is a great movie, and I would have had more to say if I wrote some notes.
That's okay. I think we said it now. I mean, this isn't like a 5-hour podcast. We can't spend too much time, but I think we said some good things about Crouching Tiger. Definitely. I would. It's a classic. I would definitely watch it, but I wanted to ask you about Shang-Chi, because remember when we did the old podcast and we talked about Marvel, you said that you and your friend Luke found this encyclopedia of Marvel characters in the public library.
Yes. I don't know about
and
Luke,
then you
but I
looked
did that.
At stuff, and
that's how I know. That's how I have my comic book knowledge. I never read the comics. My knowledge comes from these encyclopedias that I was just flipping through when I was younger.
So I want to ask you, were you aware of any Shang-Chi stuff?
I was aware that the Mandarin was one of Iron Man's arch enemies.
Right. He was also in Iron Man 3.
But he was the fake one.
The faker, yes. Someone pretending to be the Mandarin.
That's what I knew. And that's about it. I didn't really know about Shang-Chi.
Okay, so you didn't know. I'm just curious, because I
just knew about the 10 rings, and I knew about the Mandarin being Iron Man's foe, and that's it.
Yeah, because I have to say that I really enjoyed myself going to see this movie. I think there's a couple of reasons. One was definitely going back to cinema to see a Marvel movie. I think
you missed that?
I did. Here's the funny thing is that I got in, and there's up until the end game there, because you could only see new Marvel content in the cinema. This was before the Disney Plus shows.
Yeah.
So if you had to wait for a very long time to continuation, to see your friends and to continue the story. So sitting down in the cinema and hearing the Marvel fanfare had a bit of a special feeling, like a little bit of goosebumps.
Oh, wow.
But because of this year, there was so much Marvel Disney Plus content that basically every week you get new content with the fanfare. Like sitting down, it doesn't feel like it. But then the movie started, and I loved it. But by the end, when we're sitting and waiting for the post-credit scene, that one felt like, okay, I'm back at home. Like we're back in this thing.
I'm an idiot. I'm a stupid moron, and I forgot about the post credits.
You forgot about the post dude, they're the best.
I didn't see it. I
just
didn't
left?
see it. I just left. I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
This is the first
No, I was like-
time. And then
You forgot. That's hilarious.
I was on my way home and I'm just like, oh wait.
Oh wait, you should. There's two. There's two
There's
post-credits.
two.
There's two.
Oh, great.
One's like a big like connection. Oh, crap! I forgot what the second one was. One's long. One's pretty long, and you got some returning characters showing up and some connections to other Marvel stuff. So that one's pretty good. And then it ends with the karaoke with Wong. It's pretty hilarious. But so I just like I have like overall for the movie. I don't know how about you, but I really liked how tight and neat this movie was. Like honestly, after seeing Black Widow, this like just it felt so neat. Like everything that was set up was paid off.
Yeah,
there was a really clear path. Like I don't know. I guess yeah. I really appreciated like the like really clean filmmaking in this one. There was no point of just sort of meandering. And I think for a movie like this was good. I think they did a really good job of like a origin story. I think good casting. I enjoyed it a lot more than I honestly anticipated. I was like, I had no idea what to expect. I wasn't really like feeling it like, okay, I'm going to have a good time, but I did. What about you?
I was thinking about that and I was thinking, how am I going to explain my feelings for it? And my feelings were that I kind of don't like, I mean, it's inevitable, but I don't like it that we're putting origin story as like origin story TM. You know what I mean? We're putting it all. It's like, oh, it's the origin story for Shang-Chi. You know, it's like,
right.
So I would love it if we just say it's a movie. Let's treat it as a film. Because like, what do you think about like just labeling stuff? And like that's what I don't like when people are already saying, oh, the Infinity Saga. This is the Infinity Saga. Now we're going to another one. And it's like, I would never say, oh yeah, like Iron Man's my favorite movie in the Infinity Saga. It's like, no, it's a good movie. I like the movie. You know, I'm not a fan of like all that labeling. So that's why there's a lot of people who are just like, oh yeah, this is a great origin story. And I understand saying that because it's a good way of describing it. But like,
I don't know. I think
that
with the
said,
MCU, I think if it was the fans doing this, creating this fake canon, I think it would annoy me, but they're made that way. They're promoted that way. And that's like the biggest selling point, that it's not just individual movies. It's like a big thing. And that's what it's like, you know, like unique about that. Other studios try to do it and completely failed. So I'm completely okay with that. People saying, you know, like comparing it to
I understand
other movies that are like, you know,
perspective. I understand that, but it just feels like, you know, this is the next Pepsi Max, and then we have, you know, Cola Zero, and then, you know, it just feels, that's what it feels like to me, and it rubs me the wrong way because it feels like everyone, because it's something you're expecting. I don't want to say this, but it's something you're expecting coming out of the factory. And I want to treat it as a film, and I want to, because like I feel like the most special thing, like what I feel would have been really amazing if what they did with the Marvel films is that every movie would feel much more different. Like if I would have loved the Thor movies if they really went hard into what Asgard would look like, and it would be like a real fantasy medieval, you know, like Thor would actually look like he comes out of the Middle Ages, and, you know, like something like that would be so different, like costumes and stuff. And then when you put them together, it would feel even more special because they're, you know, all these starkly different things are coming together, which is why there's some Marvel films that I liked, like where they kind of shifted a little bit, like Ant-Man being filmed in 185 instead of the 235,
right? Because
there's something, I'm looking at it a different way, and I like that, because then when Ant-Man comes into Captain America 3, he's in this new movie with the, you know, it's Ant-Man, but it's in this Captain America frame, you know, in the cinematography of Captain America. That would have been so much more fun for me. And that's one of the criticisms that I've always had with MCU films, is they look the same. Anyway, we're going off a tangent. What I wanted to say about Shang-Chi is that I wanted to say that I liked that it wasn't just the cookie cutter kind of, hey, it's the guy from San Francisco. What happened? Someone shows up, it's a wizard, and he says, your family has many powers.
You're a wizard, Shang-Chi.
You know what I mean? And he's like, here, the amulet from, and
Yes.
he takes it and he gets powers, I don't remember how many movies in the Marvel films that started with the new character that has a backstory.
Oh, like super origin.
Like Shang-Chi
super
has
origin.
Because what I liked
He's like a
about
regular
this,
man, and he grabs the amulet
yeah.
of power. Yeah.
Yeah.
That one's lame. Yeah, that one's overplayed.
What I'm happy about is what surprised me pleasantly was that Shang-Chi, like, his character had a backstory. He was trained as an assassin, and he was, and when you meet him, he's covering that up, but he's actually someone else, someone he already has that kind of quote unquote power, he has that special ability, but he doesn't want it. He doesn't want to be part of it. And I like that. And then my favorite, I think everyone's, maybe you would agree, Tim, favorite part, the favorite storyline was with him and his father. And his father is trying to bring him back, and he's like, I don't want to, do that. And the whole dynamic with him and his mother and their dead mother, his dead mother, and his dad's wife, obviously. And
his dad's dead mother.
Yes. And I loved, my favorite character was the Mandarin, or Wenwei, Zhu Wenwei, right? Zhu Wenwei? Zhu, I don't know.
I thought you were going to talk about Trevor.
Who?
Trevor, the actor.
I'm Trevor Slattery. Yeah. That was, I somehow felt like he would pop up at some point.
I had no idea. I completely forgot about that character, to be honest. I was like, oh wow. They kept that away from everyone, so that was good.
Yeah.
Good on them. They should do that more. Keep things hidden.
I think that
what did you think of it as, like you say, you don't want to think about it as another Marvel movie. What did you think of it as on its own ground as a movie?
Huh?
I think as far as like its references to actions, I think it was really good. I think it had a really strong emotional story. Like it like you actually felt it. I think the actors probably, especially, his dad playing, I think there was a lot that was said in the fights and without the words. I think it was pretty good.
Well, no, I think what I wanted to say was my favorite character was Tony Leung's character. Tony Leung, right? Tony Leung, that's what it is. Tony Leung's character. I think Tony Leung's character was the best because the way that he portrayed it was fantastic. I don't think you could do it any other way. Where it's like you can tell he's a dangerous man, but he's not acting like he is. You can see a little bit of that concern he has.
Yeah. The stern father. You know that it's he'll be composed, but there's boiling underneath the cap.
And I liked him. I'm sweating again. Sorry.
Frank, look what you're doing to him. Look what you're doing to poor old Phil.
Yeah.
Here's what I want to ask. So what I like what Marvel is doing, and I'm sorry I'm talking about it as like a Marvel thing, but it's hard not to think about it. But they started off with, because you have like the Earthlings, which is fine, they're humans and whatever, and then you have the Spacelings, which is also cool. They're like space, but I really liking that they're now they're creating these mythology inspired worlds. Like we started with the Norse mythology with Thor and all that stuff. Then we got Wakanda, which is kind of African flavor. Now we got Shang-Chi, which is more of a Chinese and Asian flavor. I wanted to ask you, and now we have like these three different types of different looking, different cultures in MCU. But is there more? Like, is there something? What else could they bring in the Marvel?
I mean, you're missing.
Do you
the
remember?
X-Men.
Is there any more? What?
X-Men has so much variety.
I know, but even like a specific one, because now we have like
yes,
the Norse people when they're Asgard, and then we have the Wakandas.
You got
now we have the
Submariner.
Who's the Submariner?
Oh,
Marinara Sauce?
He's Marvel Aquaman.
Marvel has an Aquaman.
Yeah,
and what
the
is
Submariner.
Like? What's the inspiration? Like, what is it? Like Greek or something?
He's Aquaman, but Marvel.
No, I mean, like, what's the draw from the like mythology? What would be the culture? Like Greek or something?
Oh, like Atlantis, that kind of thing. Again, that's what we got.
Atlantis.
Yeah, of course.
Because I think like they're missing like America's kind of, like native kind of culture.
Well,
They
there's
should
some
bring
there's
something
some
from
there's
there.
some X-Men that are Native American. There's some mutants.
Oh yeah,
But-
or like some Mayan culture, something like that.
All I
I think that'll
know,
be pretty cool.
all I know is Submariner. That's the only one that they didn't tap in yet.
Submariner. That's like a lame ass name. I hope
Yeah.
they never.
I mean, his
actually-
name's Namor. That's his real name.
Namor. Okay. Oh no, I've heard the name Namor.
or Namer. I don't know. Namer or Namor.
Namor.
Whatever. Welcome to the podcast where we mispronounce everything in this episode.
That's what we do. That's what we do.
You know what? How many more worlds are we gonna get? But I guess it's fine. I guess I feel like I think
That's
that's
good.
Just, I think that's just taste because
But then in the end,
'Cause
you
I'm
have
gonna-
like so many armies.
yeah, you
It's
have
good,
the
like it's like
armies. Yeah, you have the armies. There's too
As a
many
battle of the
armies.
5 armies.
There's too many of them, Tim. I can't anymore.
It'll be rhinoceroses fighting.
I was all in for the beginning of the first half of Shang-Chi. I was just like, okay, there's a dragon now. There's a big
Oh really?
there's a big soul-sucking demon now. And I was just like, and it went crazy. It was crazy, but I didn't like it. I'm sorry. I just did not like the ending. It just went insane. It went insane with like imagery and like unnecessary elements.
to the other side.
Just went straight to hell at the end, in my opinion. I was just overload. There's an overload of imagery going on, and it was like
it was a bit too of an epic battle, I would say, for a first movie. I think you have to stage yourself. You can't go straight into fighting Cthulhu with the dragon.
Man, it was just so much of that, and yeah, it lost me. That's the biggest thing. It's just kind of lost me.
Oh, you lost you?
Because like when we went to the alternate world, and I was like, okay, there's an alternate thing. There's like the Narnia situation going on. Like, okay, let's keep going.
Writing notes. Okay, we got
Narnia. Yeah.
Okay, there's a
you know what I mean? Yeah, and
there's
I love the food dog though, the big guardian.
Oh yeah,
dog.
I think my
creature.
favorite thing is like as far as like the visuals when they go through that bamboo forest and they arrive on a jeep into the ancient land, and that stupid ass jeep of the whatever that guy's name was, the sword hand man's
Razor Fist or
Jeep.
something.
I just like it was just so funny just arriving in the jeep. It felt so touristy.
It was good. Yeah.
Like Jurassic Park. Look, we're in this ancient
Yeah,
village. Because
yeah.
usually in new movies, they always have some like high tech, like a high tech vehicle, that transports them.
Yeah.
Like even in the what's it called? In the King Kong and versus Godzilla movie, they like go into this crazy vehicle that transports them to the Middle Earth.
Oh, I hated that. That was awful.
But here's just a jeep. I love it. It's just like
Yeah.
we're in the ancient lands.
I don't know, Tim, like you brought up another thing that I just realized about this film that I wasn't very happy about. It was like it seems like I think there's a lot of people who get it a little bit annoying, and I don't want to be that aggressive towards it, but it is just gonna softly say it is a concern of mine.
Okay, what's the concern?
People call it the Marvel humor.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that I felt some of that here a little bit more than I have before, because
Any examples?
yeah, like there was this, I think that every dramatic moment that happens, almost every dramatic moment that happens, other than the climax, because that's supposed to be dramatic, always gets undercut by someone saying something silly. Always a joke afterwards. And I don't like that, because it's right now, after 27 films, it's a little bit formulaic. You're expecting something like that. And what is the core of humor? Being surprised. That's why you laugh.
Right.
And every time it happens, I saw it in this one. And when Katie, she pulls the arrow after training for it in a day, and then hits the big demon monster, right? Yeah, right in the butt. And then, okay, let's see this dramatic moment continue. And then she just says, like, what does she say? She says something like,
I think she says like that worked or something.
yeah. There we go. That's what it was, like that. Yeah, she just went, that worked. Like give me a little bit of sincerity. I want some sincerity.
Yeah.
And I think that the counterpoint to that is great, because Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon had humor in it, but most of the humor was visual and it wasn't doing it to steal the moment, and it was in the right places. Like, obviously, it was hilarious when they were in the tea house or the restaurant, and all the bullies come in and corner Jen, who's just with her little hat sipping tea.
Oh, the hat. Is there a Dragon Ball Z character that has a hat? Oh, yeah, of course. Like that?
Dragon Ball is mostly inspired by Chinese imagery.
Okay, so add that to the list of my knowledge of Chinese culture.
Dragon
Ball Z, because I was like just going like, this reminds me of Dragon Ball.
Yeah. A lot of Dragon Ball is just Chinese inspired because it is based on the journey to the West, right?
Yes. Wait, Dragon Ball, the little kid with the other guy had the hat.
Yeah.
What was his name?
Tian Han and Chaozu.
Chaozu, there we go.
Yeah, which is funny. I think we talked about that. Every Dragon Ball character is named after either an item or a vegetable or food.
Yes.
So Chaozu is named after Jiaozi, which is gyoza, the dumplings.
Yes. I love those.
Yeah, me too. They're amazing. But yeah, like Crouching Tiger had that kind of humor where you don't have to tell the joke. You see that it's funny already. Like they come in with these big weapons and there's like the bully comes in and he says, well, he's not the bully, he's here to avenge those honor.
Really empty, one of those
just giant cannonballs on sticks. And he comes in and he comes in and he sits down like this and he's like, I am so and so and you have dishonored these people,
Yeah.
And it's like it's funny already. And one of the things that I was unexpectedly laughing at in Crouching Tiger was when the moment where Jen was going to get married in the parade. They're going down the parade and she was going to get married to this fat loser. And then Lo, who is the Chang Chen, the crazy pirate from the desert. He just can't take it anymore. And he's like, no, I object to this. Remember that? And he comes in and he's like,
and they take him away.
He's like, Jen, go to the mountains with me to live forever. Remember that? And he's like just crashing the thing, and he throws an arrow, right? He throws a dart into Jen's like that box that she's being carried in.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And he throws it, and then there's just this shot of Jen with the cloth over her face, and she puts it up like that. And I laughed so much because I think that it's like, this guy can't stop. That's the facial expression, and it was subtle, and it made me laugh. And I think it was on purpose. I don't know, because like I was watching and I was like, yeah, this is great. So it's like that kind of humor I would have loved to see more in movies like Shang-Chi, because like Shang-Chi has the Marvel thing where it's just, what are we going to do? We're going to do a little quip again, and and also in the wrong moments as well. Like I don't.
It's okay.
So anyway, like I said, the next half of Shang-Chi, I just wasn't. I loved when he confronted his dad. That was great.
Right.
And they were fighting.
But then it went too big for you.
Like thematically, that was a great fight. The choreography was great. The effects were. I hated them. I hated them so much when it was like the blue fire and then the red fire and then it's like
they're using the rings.
Yeah, I hated it so much. I was thinking as well, like if the rings didn't have a blue glow, I think that would be so much cooler. It didn't glow at all. They would just be rings.
If there were rings and they were like rattling and it was more like wind stuff, like you could see the turbulence of the wind, I think that would look cool. Like one of my favorite things in the Harry Potter series and the third Harry Potter, when Alfonso Cuarón was directing it, like a lot of the magic, how it was visualized, it was mainly with wind and noises, and all that flashy lighting stuff that came in later on was completely absent. Every single power was like, and it felt like much more visceral than the classic energy, YouTube After Effects.
YouTube After Effects. Yeah.
YouTube After Effects in 3 minutes make, like the I think ever since Voldemort and Harry Potter are like fighting with the plasma juices.
With the plasma juices, just
coming out of their wands. Yeah, that's overdone, definitely. I think that one needs to go.
One of the biggest like visual like not inspirations but impressions that I got from Prisoner of Azkaban, the Alfonso Cuarón movie.
Yeah.
Was when they do the Lumos. No, what was it?
Oh yeah, not Expelliarmus. Expecto Patronum.
He's just
No,
Patronus?
not the Patronus, not the Patronus. Just when they use their wands as a
Oh
flashlight.
yeah, the just Lumos. Yeah, it just flashes.
That's the first time I thought that's an effect, but they put a lens flare. Like it's always a flare, like it's affecting the lens. Made it so real.
I think they actually
made
had
it
a little
so
light
real
on,
to me
on the end of the wand. I
Yeah,
think
but
they filmed that practical.
But I'm sure they had to like augment it, like put an extra
probably a bit
because because I remember they put like a lens flare expanding, like a pulse coming out of the light.
Oh yeah.
And I was just like, that is real now. It looks real, and I feel like
the sound of it was like whoo every time you turn it on.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. Yeah, that would probably.
Yeah, fast forward to Shang-Chi, and it's just blue fire and red fire, and I'm just rolling my eyes.
Blue fire, red fire.
It's up there, man. It's up there with the Black Panther end fight.
Oh, okay. That one is that
one's rough.
One hurts.
That one's rough, my friend.
Poor CGI couldn't finish their scene.
Yeah,
all right.
I'm sorry. I just like if it was just him and his dad fighting, and he just gets the rings. I think that has way more. That has enough weight emotionally, plot-wise, to make it work. We didn't need the dragon. I didn't need to see that giant dragon. I didn't need to see the giant soul-sucking vampire demon. I didn't. I really did not. I did not care for the armies fighting each other again, and I didn't.
The villages against the 10 ring soldiers.
And here's my getaway for it. Like I know what they do with this, and it's structured. Sorry, I should.
the usual alarm goes off.
And it's structured to be, like an introduction to the character because we want to use him again.
Yes.
The ending of the film didn't make me like at all excited to see where he's going next, which is sad to say because I don't think Simon Liu, the actor, has anything to do with it. But like, I'm just thinking like if I were to see him in a new movie, let's pretend there's an Avengers, right? And he's in there. What aspect of his personality will come in to make me excited to see him,
I was thinking about this as well. What kind of how does he fit into, like when if you look at the 2012 Avengers, you have Captain America, the righteous man.
Yes.
You have Tony Stark, the, sassy smart millionaire.
Does mother know
Thor,
why you wear
all
drapes?
being all, a hembo. Then you had the Hulk, which is, two different kind of characters. You had Scarlet, and then you had, the
Hawkeye.
agent man, Hawkeye man. And they all play their part. I don't know because I feel like...
But it's also not just that; it's also their abilities as well, like what they are.
Their abilities.
He's
too.
a god of thunder.
He's
a man of metal. He flies and he has the repulsor rays. Hulk is the what I mean. There's dynamics.
I guess he's like maybe there's like more powers they can like figure out with the rings instead of just like plasma juice.
That's the thing. Like there's plasma juice with the rings.
There's plasma juice with
and
the
he
rings.
does kung fu, which is great. But
so but he also has his mother's windy powers too. So it's like a combination of plasma juice and windy powers.
But also, what personality am I remembering with him? Because I liked when he played against Tony Leung.
Yes.
I liked that because he was very, you could see in his face he was just sick. He just didn't want to be a part of it. He looks at him.
Very what is it? Reclusive word is
reclusive.
Not reclusive. Reluctant to do any of this. Really, he didn't want to go back into the fighty fights, and it didn't end like I enjoy the fighty fights. I am back. It's still in the same feeling of like I want to go back and park cars kind of vibe, and sure, I'll do this. So maybe that's the theme of him, like still not wanting to have this responsibility of the 10 rings.
I would say I feel like that's probably the only thing they can use right now to get him in, because like I think that would be. Would you be okay with like a repeat of sort of like, nah, I don't want to use those 10 rings. I'm not gonna.
I have no idea. I don't know. Maybe I don't know where it's going to take. That's a good question. I really didn't think about it. Like, where can they take them? We'll have to see, because now we'll have like a bunch of other different characters. So I'll have to play with different. I have no idea what they're going to do.
Yeah. So this is kind of because I feel like there's something in the movie that I was following quite well, and I liked.
Right.
Because I really, there are aspects that I liked, but then it just kind of, in my opinion, just topples over at the end because like there's just, CGI and when it could have just been, when it could have just been.
Film Riot already did a video how to make those effects. So if you want,
there you go.
Make your own YouTube.
And I just hated that blue and red
plasma juice coming out of rings. Go to filmriot.com.
What did you think of the supporting characters? We didn't even talk about those.
Trevor is a delight.
I just remembered Razor Fist, the guy with the
That's pretty cool.
That's great, but I just remembered what I also didn't like. It was like they were fighting and they're like, "Stop, we must work together." They look out there and they see the demon monsters coming out. We'll work together. That's another one of those like,
it kills the demon monster kills the mask guy. Like the mask
guy.
Special,
yeah.
Special
mask
man.
guy. I forgot about the mask guy. Yeah.
He gets devoured by demons, and they're like, "Oh, that was our most powerful warrior." I'm like, "Yeah, we'll fight with you."
I don't like that. The humor was already so old for me. And especially because the humor was used as a way to get them to be, you kind of, it feels like you forgive the
bad writing,
the light reasoning, the light reasoning between, of them joining them now and just helping fight with them instead of maybe retreating, which probably would have been more realistic. And I'm saying realistic to their character
or whatever.
Yeah.
They'd be like, "We're back into the bamboo forest we go."
Yeah. And you use a joke to kind of surf over it, and it's stuff like that. But I mean, I'm talking in circles now, honestly.
No, it's okay.
Well, wait. There's also the Abomination. You didn't know?
We got some cameos. Wong's in there. We got Blonsky coming back as the Abomination
with ears and looking more like the comic version. I remember reading that that's a moment for the encyclopedia where I was like,
right.
There's another, because I saw there was Red Hulk, there's Gray Hulk, there's the Abomination. What's this? He has ears. He looks more like a monster,
Mm-hmm.
I thought that's so cool. And I'm reading the bio and I'm like, where does Emil Blonsky come from?
Yep.
From Zagreb.
He's a local man, Emil Blonsky. I think in the MCU he's from somewhere else.
Yeah, he's from somewhere else, which I remember that. 2008 watching The Incredible Hulk, and I'm like, mention it. We're in Croatia watching this. I want to... No. Not at all.
I don't know where to put him from, like Poland or something. But sadly, he is not the Zagreb man, the Abomination.
Yeah, I don't know what to say about that. Like, it's a cameo for cameo's sake, especially. That's what I don't understand about. I don't want to complain. I'm sorry. I don't want to complain. I'm done complaining.
It's okay. I speak your mind. What do you want to complain? You don't like the cameos?
I don't like it when they're cameos for cameo's sake, and I also don't like it when they're not. If you're going to bring in the Abomination, what happened between 2008 and now? What is going on with this character? Because he was pretty conscious of himself when we left him in 2008's Incredible Hulk, which admittedly wasn't a super great film, but I always think you have bigger cojones if you stick with it, no matter if it's bad or not. You stick with what happened before and you try to make it better moving forward instead of saying, "Oh, that's not real. This is real."
No, but no one says that's not real. I don't think there's a single MCU thing where they go like, "This is not canon." Everything they'll try to fix it like
Edward
something
Norton?
happened between. But that's a recast. That's like that doesn't count. You can't like you can do the Matrix thing, which just sucks when when the Oracle had to be recast, they mentioned it like, "Oh, look, they changed my face." Don't do that. Just play it like it's normal. It's a recast. What can you do? It's a movie.
I'm trying to think of a moment where that happens in the Marvel films.
That they like that
they retconned
made
something.
you aware that it was a recast?
No, that they retconned something.
I don't think they did. Like everything plays, and it could be. I don't think there was even like, "Oh, this was a lie," or like they made you think this was the truth. I think they pretty stick to it pretty much. Like the Abomination. Like
what's
it's been like what?
What's Abomination doing with Wong? Why does he not speak? Because he was like still self-conscious. That's what I said. Like
I know, but I think it's like a setup.
Yeah.
Like They give you a little bit of sparkle in here, like in the background, and then later on they'll use the abomination for more. Isn't there like a TV show?
Sometimes they drop it.
Sometimes they drop it?
Yeah, sometimes they don't even do anything with it. It's just there for there, and then
like what?
It. I'm trying to remember.
It's okay. I'm not. I don't remember. Howard the Duck. The Howard the Duck keeps coming back.
He does.
Did you watch Loki?
I did watch Loki.
Okay. Did you what? Yeah.
Let's not argue about Loki.
We're not. We talked about Loki last time. No, we're done. We're done. So surprising turn of events. I would probably say, right, if you would have to prefer between these two movies, you would probably prefer Crouching Tiger.
Yeah, it feels like a natural conclusion to make at this point.
Surprising turn of events for some reason. It's the opposite for me, which is not natural.
Interesting.
When it comes to movies like this. It usually would be the other way around. I prefer Shang-Chi for some reason. So weird. What a day.
I guess Shang-Chi was more fun, or Shang-Chi as it.
Shang-Chi, as we try to pronounce it incorrectly and embarrassingly.
Yeah.
Since we're
yeah. So yeah, for me it's Crouching Tiger, definitely by a mile. It just felt more authentic, and I got something from it. And for me, Shang-Chi just felt like, it's okay, we have a new character now.
Oh, another one in the box.
Yeah, that's what it feels like to me.
Put him in your collection on your little windowsill.
I think I would have, like I said, I would have liked it if there was. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm done.
If there's more wire work.
So if there's more wire work, then it would be like
the whole movie just on
Crouching
wires.
Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
It's just them dangling. Did anyone ever make that kind of movie? Everyone is just dangling. Like the whole movie is just that's what we need to do. Everything's just dangly. That'll be the best.
Now you're making me think of all the like Hong Kong action movies that I saw, which is interesting because I've seen mostly movies after the 90s, which is. And some of them, like, actually, like, there's this great movie called Iron Monkey, and it's bonkers, but sometimes it's a little boring, but the fight scenes are insane. It's directed by Yen Ping.
Okay. I was really intrigued by, like, just watching both of these movies, and especially Crouching Tiger. I was like, I want to watch some Hong Kong and some Chinese cinema right now. I think I'm going to watch some more.
Watch Iron Monkey. It's fun.
I'll watch Iron Monkey, yeah. I'll put it on. All right, guys.
Yeah. Next time I'm gonna be prepared. I'm gonna be prepared. Because here's the thing. Let me tell you. In conclusion, just between you and me, Tim. Just between you and me.
What's up? And Johnny.
I was always told like, oh, Philip, why do you always have these notes? You're always trying to prepare. You're always doing these notes things. And you know what? I don't care anymore. I'm gonna use the notes. It helps me.
Those are different.
Talk.
Those are different times. Those are different times. Free times. This is serious podcasting now. This is no Mickey Mouse stuff.
Okay. Well, in that case, next time I'm gonna do a much better job.
Good. Bring a note or two.
I'll bring a note or two.
Note or two. And on that note,
I was an award-winning host on the Matrix Minute.
It's true. We won some awards. In the form of 5 stars on the.
That's right.
Podcast. Speaking of which, rate this podcast.
Yeah, rate this podcast, man.
And check us out on Instagram. We post a bunch of garbage, and it's good garbage.
Yeah,
some delicious chicken nuggets we post for you to enjoy and chat with us. And that's about it. Y'all stay safe.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, to talk to your parents.
Your sisters.
Don't steal swords.
Don't run away from your parents. Yeah, don't steal swords. Especially ones 2 feet 9 inches long, 1.1 inches wide. 7 rubies missing from the hilt. Qin Wu era, with engravement techniques lost during the Han Dynasty.
Yep.
I mean, this is a movie that both of these movies had like parent-issued children.
And we didn't even talk. What?
Well,
we talked about
it
wire work. Yeah. Some
You're the one who kept going into wire work. I was just talking about.
I don't know why I was talking about wire work, but it's some themes, some good themes. We didn't even get to talk to them, but it's okay. Watch both of those movies, actually.
Yeah, make up your own mind.
Watch.
That's exactly what Michelle Yeoh says to Zhang Ziyi at the end of the film. She says, she grabs her by the shoulders and just says, whatever life you live, be true to yourself. Because we sacrifice so much for you. You ungrateful child.
And on a better note than that, so that's it.
Goodbye.
The sex scenes were awkward.
Okay, that's going to be at the end. I hope you recorded that. As far as I know, Roger Deakins had no involvement in any of the films that we listened and watched today.
Listening to a film.
See, there we go again. I said listened. I don't know. It just gets in my head. Where'd my phone go? I need it for information.
Information.
Drop it, did
I don't know.
Went up your butt. It was right here.
Way up there.
Okay, I just remembered my phone is my camera.
Old man, you're an old man.
Are we recording?
I love it. That's the good old. Where are my glasses?
Yeah. All
right.
I mean, come on. You had that. That happened to you once.
What, the glasses thing?
Yeah, you had them on. You had them either on your face or up on your forehead.
Not yet. The glasses definitely, but the phone in your hand, looking for it, that did happen. Like I was in my hand looking for it.
Let's do a clap sync. 3.
Now,
I'm looking.
That was Shang-Chi.
Yeah, give me a sec.
But
I just want to see where the hell. Because there has to be a reason. Like I think my computer just stops it and pretends it's not there. So.
There must be a reason for the computer to.
Because like it can this thing. Actually, I should just stop and just keep talking. Honestly.
There is no reason for.
I'm probably gonna lazily edit this and still have this on and not cut this out because that's the nature of it all. Come on, connect again. Connect, you fool. Let's see. Setup guide? Okay. Oh, it's a YouTube video. I can't do that now.
Oh, this is a YouTube video. Good.
I don't want this. I'm sorry, Tim. I just hate it. I hate this. This makes me upset. It's very distressing. Why? I guess I should buy the Pro version. Maybe that's it doesn't cost that much. It's like $7. I don't know why I don't just buy the Pro version. Right? Why? Yeah, Tim, my computer, I'm noticing its age very, very, very much.
It's time to take out the innards of your computer and get new innards that can handle.
Okay, we're back.
Oh, you're flipped.
I'm flipped now.
What the hell?
It's a different camera app. Anyway. Okay.
Amazing. Wait.